Sandy with MMS Consultants is going to be presenting for the City of Solon. I'm going to let her go first if you're ready, Sandy.
Yeah, I'm ready. Thanks, GT. Yeah. So just a correction, we're going to be talking about Solon fringe area, and I'll explain to you what that fringe area is in a second here, but let me share my screen. And okay, so can everybody see that orange screen? Yeah, okay. All right, so we're going to talk about the Solon fringe area. MMS is working on quite a few developments in this area. Not all of them I can talk about, but 2 of them I can. So just to kind of give everybody a brief update of what the fringe area agreement, this is a map that Josh probably drew up back in, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. This is the fringe area. And when we say fringe area, we mean 2 miles outside of the city limits. So the 2 developments that I'm going to be talking about today are within those Solon fringe areas. And specifically that little star that just showed up, that is where we're at. So we're south of Solon, just 2 miles. And if you're familiar, we're off of Highway 1 on Dillon's Furrow Road. It just so happens that the 2 developments are right across the street from each other. The first one that I'm going to talk to you about is Harper's Hollow. This is a development by Nick Heeman, and there you can see it, what it could potentially look like at full build out. It's 4 residential lots, about 1 acre or more in size. We've got a shared private road, and this final plat just got approved this morning. So, yeah. So as I was saying, we've got 4 residential lots, a private drive that can be stubbed in for development off to the west. There's the lots right there. And we are within Solon School District. We've got 1 pond that we use for stormwater, which it's going to be a wet bottom pond, so it's not just a mud puddle. And individual private septics. There is 1 shared well there, and we're just a little bit short of 2 miles south of the city of Solon. So that's an idea of what one of the lots, you can pick whatever kind of house you want to put on it, but this was just one. Obviously, when we're out in the county, we have more space. So those big gardens and outbuildings, I know that's been a thing since COVID started, is having that accessory building. That's very popular. I think that's kept a lot of people from getting divorces, what I've heard. So, but I am going to show you a video now of what Harper's looks like. So that was Harper's Hollow. The developer had us make that video for him, and those videos help us with, obviously Josh understands when he's looking at a preliminary plat what it's going to look like, but sometimes the Board of Supervisors or City Council, we are within the fringe area, so Solon City Council had to see this or got to approve this as well. Sometimes they don't understand when they were looking at a preliminary plat and there's just a bunch of squiggle lines. This kind of helps us convey what it's going to look like when it's done. Coincidentally, we did put this on social media on a Thursday at 3:30, and 3 of the lots were spoken for by Sunday night, so pre-sold. So there is a demand for lots in the county, which is good. That's good for MMS, and it's good for Josh and the guys up there, so they have something to do. But the next development that I'm going to talk to you is just across the road, and that's Spartan Hollow. Spartan Hollow was also by the same developer, Nick Heeman. And this is the largest county subdivision that's been done since Westcott Heights. Westcott Heights is up on Prairie du Chien Road, and that was done about 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. So here it is. At full build out, it'll be 52, give or take, 52 lots. We got a couple ponds there. We're accessing twice off of Dillonsboro Road. We are in road negotiations with the county right now. That road negotiation is sitting on Ryan Moss's desk, and Josh is going to push him to get that done and reviewed. But so in regards to Solon, you can see that aerial off to on the left-hand side of your screen. And the star kind of shows where Spartan Hollow is. So we are going to phase this subdivision out. It's going to be 2 phases. The first phase will be roughly 32 lots. The developer wanted us to show walking trails, and there are easements for walking trails throughout the subdivision. And I pushed hard on the engineers to design stormwater ponds that aren't square or rectangles, because they're engineers and they like to do that. But we do have some walkout lots, and we did something a little bit different on this development. We did what we're calling a rural pocket neighborhood. So we're going to try it. We're going to see what the market does. Hopefully we'll see if they're successful and they sell. But these are smaller lots, 1/3 of an acre. If you want to live out in the country, you want that space, but maybe you don't want to take care of 1 acre, or you can't afford 1 acre. These are smaller lots, and the beauty about the roads in the county and the houses in the county, it doesn't matter which way you orient your house. So we kind of created this marginal access road, that this right here. So only 6 houses can access off of this for the ordinance. So only 6 of these houses are going to be able to have their garages off of this road, but we'll see what it works. It's kind of like a rural version of an alley. Hopefully it's successful. And we're working through this preliminary plat right now, but here for the first time is the video of what Spartan Hollow is hopefully going to look like when it's built out. go. And then I've just got one more slide to go through. And I do have to give props to Josh on this one, because a couple months ago, he was on the phone with us and he mentioned, he was like, what's the tax revenue off of this? So I had I spent about a day last fall just going through and several phone calls with Mark Kistler to learn how we actually break down taxes. So the economic development that's going to be spurred from this is pretty great. Of course, I don't know what the current real estate market, it might actually be even better. But one lot off of Spartan Hollow is going to produce taxable revenue. We're going to get about $7,800 in tax revenue per lot on average. That obviously gets filtered out into the community. Right now, it's only producing about $1,600 a year in taxes. At full build out, Spartan Hollow, which is 52 lots, give or take, is going to produce about just short of $500,000 every year. And that'll only go up with inflation. 237,000 of that goes right to Solon School District. Kirkwood Community College, 18,000. And the HBA, of course, is huge fans of both, but particularly Kirkwood. So it is important that we keep building houses out in the county and building houses elsewhere, because it's the only way we can really open up the existing housing stock, which is, I would say, quote unquote, the more affordable housing stock. And if we stop building new houses, yeah, nobody's going to give up them old houses. So anyways, that's all I have to talk about today, and I'll pass it on to someone else.
Sandy, I had a quick question for you,
Sure.
if that's okay. First off, it's really interesting that was nice to see, but can you give us a sense, since you're on kind of a different side of the equation than a lot of the presenters, how long this process took for the developer to kind of go from a concept to where they can break ground and start selling lots?
That's a really good question. We started on Harper's Hollow because they had to go through a land use. 2019, it was June of 2019. I know that because it was right before my dad died. And we just got the final plat approved this morning. So it's, April 2021. That was on a 4-lot subdivision. Spartan Hollow, we started that very shortly. Actually, we started that land use. That's when we started the land use for Spartan Hollow, was June of that year, was 2019. And we submitted the preliminary plat, and it's kind of sitting in purgatory with the road agreement. So I'm hoping to get that road agreement back sooner. And just so you guys all know, Dillon's Furrow is going to be hard surface. It's gravel right now, and that's what this road negotiation is for. But I hope that we can start construction this summer. I really hope we can. Getting the preliminary plat, the infrastructure, and it'll probably be next winter before we file the final plat, and lots will be able to be sold maybe next spring. So about 2 years, 2-3 years.
Cool. Does anybody else have any questions for Sandy? All right. Thank you very much. That was a great presentation.